Yes.
Dr. Binoy,
Yes, sir.
shall we start?
Yeah, sure. Are you giving any introduction or shall I start directly?
No, I will. You will be asked to.
Fine.
You will be asked to do that later. In initial formalities after. Good day to all. I am Harinder Lal, Chair of the Inter-Society Activities Committee, IEEE Kerala section. Today we have yet another currently relevant topic, how to coexist with COVID-19 by an authority on the subject, Dr. Binoy S. Babu. We have 250 participants from 15 countries for this program. I request the participants who has put some other name like home or some name of the phones, please rename yourself. After the program, everybody is requested to give a feedback on that. There is a feedback link provided with the invitation. Now I invite Ashwin Chandran of CSI to give the welcome address.
Good evening all. Today we have the 14th talk of the Inter-Society webinar series organized by IEEE Kerala chapter.
Center for Disease Control, Delhi. And this is my disclaimer. The interpretation of the author of this PowerPoint is non-peer reviewed and his own and doesn't in any way constitute the official statement or opinion of the national or international governments or organizations. So the current scenario, as explained by the person who was welcoming me, as on today, globally, there are 1,34,57,458 confirmed cases, and we lost 5,81,221 deaths. And we have a recovery rate, means the people who are cured from COVID-19 are 78,47,226. In India, active cases are 3,11,565 today, and we lost 23,727 lives. And recovered cases of COVID-19 are 5,71,459. Now you can see that I have bolded those cases which are recovered cases. It is because we should always try to replicate only the positive things, not the negative things. How many became positive? We normally have a tendency to talk about the negative things. Actually, what we should do is we should amplify the positive stories. So from the basic, we can start like COVID-19 is actually a short form. COVID means coronavirus disease, which was there reported in 2019 December from Wuhan in China. And this disease is caused by a virus, and that virus name is SARS-CoV-2. This SARS-CoV is also a short form. What it is meant is severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. Now, route of transmission so far what we know is as droplets through air. So what are the common signs and symptoms? Signs means those things which are elicited by the doctor. Symptoms means our complaints. So that is what is meant by the signs and symptoms. So normally what we used to see is like fever, we see cough, we see some throat irritation or throat pain, rhinorrhea, which is the common running nose, difficulty in breathing, we say in our term dyspnea, anosmia means loss of olfaction, means loss of smell. Then ageusia means we will lose the sensation of taste. Then dysentery, like we will be having loose stools if we get it. So these are the commonly seen signs and symptoms around the globe. So what are the lab tests? It will be always confusing about the lab tests. Actually, there are three lab tests mainly. One is RT-PCR, that is real-time polymerase chain reaction test, and the second one is antibody test, and the third one is antigen test. In RT-PCR, RT-PCR requires big machineries and a lot of good environment, storage capacity, etc. But in a smaller place, the same technique can be done by CB-NAT as well as by GeneXpert. But the gold standard is always RT-PCR. That is this real-time polymerase chain reaction test that is considered as the confirmatory test. Now, we can see antibody test also. Like if we might have seen that in the newspapers and all, like a lot of foreigners are coming, expatriates are coming from Middle East countries to Kerala or India. So those times they will be asked to do the test. That will be antibody test. So what they will be testing is, it will be a card test and it will be a rapid test. And what they will be seeing is whether there is presence of IgG antibody or IgM antibody. If IgG antibody becomes positive, that means the person had a recent infection and now he is free from the infection. Means that infection is not there. And if it is IgM, that means the person is positive and it is a recent infection and he may be still positive. So we have to send him again for the RT-PCR, and if it is positive, then we have to isolate him and treat him. Then about the antigen test, what is currently which we are doing to detect whether there is a community transmission or not. So antigen test means if antigen test, that also we will be having a lot of card tests are available. So in the card we will be taking that drop of blood, and then this blood we will be taking in a strip, and this strip will be dipped into another solution so that even if a virus is there, the virus will be neutralized, and then we will be applying it to the space where we will be testing them. So if it is positive, it means the person is 100% positive. If it is negative, it doesn't mean that the person is negative. So if it is negative, we have to do a real-time PCR test, RT-PCR again, to confirm that he is truly negative. So this is in short about the lab test. The preventive and control measures, we all know that, and I'll be repeating those things in the coming slides, but I'll be trying to avoid that when I speak. So the best thing is, like we all have a mentality like what to do, how to do. We all feel that, especially Malayalis in Kerala, people will be always thinking that we know everything. So it is very difficult to give health education for these people. But as far as this COVID-19 is concerned, it is very new, and we globally the resources are so small. Even if there is surging of a lot of information these days, as it is a new virus, nobody knows what is tomorrow. So we have to give health education, like information, education, and communication, so that the people's attitude can be changed, and the behavioral change in communication can be made. And what we should remember is like mopping with 1% hypochlorite solution. This is the solution which will help to destroy this virus. So this is very important. So if you are asking how to make it, we will be getting this 5% sodium hypochlorite 1 liter bottle, and along with that, if you are adding some 4 liters of water, then you will be getting 5 liters of 1% sodium hypochlorite solution. That we can keep it for 8 hours, and we can use it. And after 8 hours, still if it is something is remaining, we have to discard it. It's of no use. And we should always wear mask whenever you go out, and try not to enter closed places with other persons, because we don't know who is infected. And why closed places means, if there is no ventilation, then there is more chance of infection. And whenever we are going to the ATM and all, try to keep the door open. And when the government is mentioning about the lockdown or curfew, please maintain it. I'll tell you why in the coming slides. And we should always keep a physical distance of 6 feet. Though we use the term social distancing, actual term is actually physical distancing, because it is the persons always it matters. So the beginning and all what happened globally is like each and every country, they were giving an advice of away from one person by 1 meter. But If we are converting the 6 feet into meters, then we will get 1.83 meters. So 2 meters at least, there should be a physical distance. And remember, sometimes that is also not enough. Then practice of cough etiquettes. Etiquettes means like whenever we are coughing, we should always try to keep a towel or a handkerchief or at least a tissue. And if nothing is there, if you are getting cough or if you are sneezing, try to tilt your head towards your shoulders and try to cough or sneeze, either right side or left side. Then we can think about the reverse quarantine of the elderly, vulnerable, like the pregnant woman and differently abled people and children and those with comorbid conditions. Comorbid conditions we know, like who are the people who are having all the existing diseases like cardiovascular diseases. I'll be coming to that in coming slides. Then seek medical help immediately when you develop related symptoms. Now, this is a term which we normally used to hear, isolation and quarantine. Actually, there is a big difference between isolation and quarantine. Whenever there is a positive case, we should use the term isolation. And in quarantine, actually, these people are infected or not, we don't know. So we are keeping them in some place for some time, so that if they are developing any symptoms, we will always ask them to go for testing, and if they are become positive, then we will take them to the hospital, we will isolate them, and we will give them treatment. For quarantine only, we will be needing one separate room and attached bathroom. So in many hospitals, what people are complaining, even in Kerala, is like all the positive cases are put together, and there are very few toilets, and they have to share the toilets. So this is causing problem. We can see that many people are talking like this. To be frank, actually, those people who are positive, if they are sharing the toilet, nothing will happen because they all are positive. So this message, it has to be very, very clear. So if somebody is telling you like this thing, then you can convince them. And normally in Kerala and all, we will always say about 28 days of quarantine. So what is meant by this 28 days is like first 14 days is the initial period of the active surveillance we say. Active surveillance in the sense, if we develop any signs or symptoms, they will be contacting us regularly. So they will be picking it up, and we will be taken for testing, and they will test us within this 14 days. Suppose if we are not developing any symptom within that 14 days, then after 14 days, they will be giving us the certificate that yes, he has successfully completed the quarantine period. But the next 14 days, we should be aware that if we are developing any problem, we should call the health authorities in the next 14 days. So in that time, that is called passive surveillance. So this is how that 28 days is differentiated. And we also used to hear a term called, that symptomatic and asymptomatic. Normally in COVID-19 cases, 80% of the cases are these days asymptomatic. Means the symptoms which I described, they will not be having any symptoms. Initially, World Health Organization told that asymptomatic persons will not be able to infect others. But now it is the research is showing that it is not true, and they are infecting many people. So we should be very, very careful. Even if those people are who are coming and we are feeling that they are okay, actually we don't know whether they are okay or not. So we should be careful. Then some perplexing questions. The question is it possible to get the COVID-19, sorry for a spelling mistake, COVID-19 through conjunctival ACE2 receptors when even a person is keeping a physical distance of 2 meters and wearing a N100 mask? The N100 mask is such a mask in which there is 100% protection. ACE2 receptors means these are the receptors in which the COVID-19 virus, means the SARS-CoV-2, comes and attaches and enters into our body. So these are available in our conjunctiva of the eye. So this was my question. And another perplexing question was whether fecal-oral route, that is fecal-oral route of transmission, is there or not. Because in SARS-CoV-1, there were many reported cases. Like one case in Hong Kong, there was one person who was affected by this SARS-CoV-1 virus, and this guy was living in a flat, and in that flat, because of his toileting and all, they had some common duct and all, so it was this disease was transmitted to around 300 to 400 persons. Now, I have asked the two queries to the Center for Evidence-Based Medicine, which is the University of Oxford, and they replied me that this fecal oral route of transmission is not clearly established, and now the research is going on. So we don't have exact data now. But about the first question, they do give me a reply. Just be very attentive to this answer. They said, yes, it is possible, but unlikely unless you are performing a procedure such as examining the eyes of a patient with conjunctivitis. So for ophthalmologists, it is very risk. First, the N100 mask may offer protection to the wearer against inhaling particles, but does not protect the conjunctival surfaces at all. That is, goggles or an eye shield are required for that. The evidence that face masks are protective against viral infection is anyway weak. Mask wearers also may be more likely to touch their faces and rub their eyes, which would increase the risk of congenital transmission. And N100 masks reduce inhalation but are not specifically designed to reduce the inhalation. So, having the patient wear a mask may not help. Secondly, droplet spread is the predominant mode of spread of virus, and this is likely to be less at 2 meter than 1 meter. But in some settings, even 2 meters may be too close. There are many studies regarding this, out of which one study which is famous, it says that when somebody is coughing or sneezing, that may travel like around 8 feet. So we should try to stay home when when the COVID-19 pandemic is in such a higher rate. And what is meant by these paragraphs are like, even if we are wearing the mask, there is a minute chance that you may get infection through your eyes because we are not covering it. So the research is going on. So there are no data which are available so far, but they said yes, it is possible. So there is a chance. Now, the objective of this today's topic is how to lead a normal way of life through this current COVID-19 situation. So we should be careful about the three hygienes. One is the personal hygiene, and if all the persons are hygienic, then we will go for the next concept, that is in community hygiene. So it will improve. Then the third hygiene will be uh, institutional hygiene, like institutions like hospital and all. That there should be regular checking of healthcare workers. Believe me, if they are not tested, then the health system itself will collapse. So that will lead to the total loss of lives. So it is very careful about these three hygienes. So what is a normal recommendation we can see? Like WHO is always, CDC always says about 60 percentage of alcohol content should be there whenever we are using a hand rub. The alcohol content should be at least 60, and WHO says at least 70 percentage. And our Ministry of Health and Family Welfare advises that the hand sanitizer should contain 60 to 70 percentage of the alcohol. And even if we are using soap and water, we should use it for at least 20 seconds. So in future, when the schools are open and the offices are open, then whenever we are going there, either they should provide us hand sanitizers or we should bring our own. And our bags and children's bags should be disinfected while we are entering to the classes for the students as well as to the offices for us, while entering as well as by coming back. Then mopping of the schools and offices using 1% sodium hypochlorite solution is also essential, at least twice a day. Whenever we are keeping a mask or we are trying to remove it, especially when we remove it, remember, touch, please touch only the strings. Now we can always see that whenever we are seeing, the interviews, political people are talking, or doctors are talking, they are all keeping their mask either in their bed or in their neck. I don't know. So be careful, and whenever you are applying mask, you please use it properly. Cough etiquettes I already explained, and it should be displayed in the public so that they will come to know. Then another thing is fomites, means these are the inanimate objects that we pick up germs when touched by a person who may be COVID positive, because we don't know. So whenever we are using mobile, and if some call is coming for a friend of yours, please don't share your phone. You may think it is very easy, but you don't have to mind it. Believe me, you have to mind it. Use your phone for yourself only, as well as ATM cards, then currency notes, then even coins, elevator buttons, doorknobs, doorbells, then milk packets, shoes, car doors, shopping bags, stationery items, all these things, believe me, you should be very, very, very careful. As far as the stationery items like pen and pencils are concerned, we can even disinfect them using the sanitizers which we are using. And you will be getting a doubt like how long this coronavirus can be there in the surfaces. Now we can have a look at it. In the metal surface, for example doorknobs, jewelry and silverware, it can be there up to 4 5 days. And in glass, for example drinking glasses, mirrors, windows, it can be there up to 5 days. In ceramics, for example dishes, pottery, mugs, it can be there up to 5 days. In paper, like newspaper and magazines, it can be there up to 5 days. And in wood, for example furniture, decking, etc., can be there up to 4 days. In plastics, like milk bottles, bus seats, elevator buttons, it can be there up to 2 to 3 days. And in stainless steel, like refrigerators, pots, pans, sinks, or in water like bottles, it will be there for 2 to 3 days. Then in cardboard, like shipping boxes and all, it may be there for 1 day. And in aluminium, like soda cans, tin foil, water bottles, can be there up to 2 to 8 hours. And in copper, for example, pennies, then take kettles and tea kettles, cookware, and all, it can be there up to 4 hours. So usage of mask, we should promote it, and we should always use a mask whenever we go out, and we should. This is where the advisory is different. Like whenever in many countries, including our country, the thing is the public are not supposed to use the surgical mask or N95 mask because it may cause a shortage, so that the healthcare workers may lose the opportunity to wear someone. And as you know, that healthcare workers are the point, they are the pillar stones, and if they get infection, believe me, definitely the whole system will collapse and it will be a total disaster. So that is why all the governments are asking us to use the cloth mask. But the thing is, the cloth mask will give you a protection of 3%, where surgical mask or triple layer mask or the medical mask, which we say, may give a protection of 56%, while N95 mask can give you a protection of 95%. So whenever we do study in our MBBS times, we do study about some ethics. So if it is for your father, if it is for your wife, if it is for your children, if it is for your parents, what you will do? So we should also recommend them try to use it. Then FFP, this is European standard actually. So it means filtering phase piece. And FFP2 means it gives a protection of 94%. FFP3 means it gives a protection of 99%. And KN95 is China standards. So we can't believe. And they offer a protection of 95%. And N99 gives a protection of 99%. N100 gives a protection of 99.97%. This N means NIOSH. NIOSH means National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. It is owned by CDC. CDC means Center for Disease Control and Prevention, US. So how to stay healthy? We should avoid crowding. We should maintain a physical distance of 2 meters from others. We should avoid at least 2 meters. We should avoid smoking. If you are a smoker, please stop it, because it causes, for the COVID-19, it will be very, very, very critical in smokers. Then we should take nutritious, balanced food, and we should do regular exercise. Regular exercise in the sense like World Health Organization always says, to do exercise for 5 days in a week, and you can take an off for 2 days. So it doesn't mean that you can do from Monday to Friday and take off, simultaneously. I mean, consecutively on Saturday and Sunday. Not like that. You can take alternate day off, not continuously. And the most important thing is we should avoid touching our face, especially eyes, mouth, and nose, because these are the points by which it can enter our body. So there are some things which are immune stabilizing foods. We cannot say immune boosters, but we can always say immune stabilizing foods. So those foods which contain vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K, zinc, quercetin, selenium, magnesium, calcium, N-acetylcysteine, and melatonin. So let us see what are they quickly. Vitamin C means ascorbic acid, and we all know that they are available in fruits. So those who are rich are these following: orange, kiwi, lemon, guava, grapefruit, broccoli, cauliflower, capsicum, and Brussels. I kept a picture of Brussels. Then vitamin D is available in fatty fish, tuna, mackerel, salmon, beef liver, cheese, egg yolk, and fortified foods. And if you are a vegetarian, you can take mushroom. Mushrooms which are planted in a place where there is enough sunlight, you will get vitamin D. And vitamin K is available from kale, turnip, collards, mustard green pea, parsley, romaine fish liver, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kiwi, avocado, blackberries, pomegranate, sun-dried tomatoes, dried figs, Brussels sprouts, meat, and eggs. I kept a picture of kale and then turnip. Then zinc is normally available high in meats, shellfish, legumes, seeds, nuts, dairy, eggs, whole grain. I kept a picture of legumes and whole grain. Then quercetin is available in red skin fruits and vegetables and grains. Then peppers like yellow and green, onion like red and white, cooked asparagus, cherries, red apples, red grapes, broccoli, kale, red leaf lettuce, berries, green tea, and black tea. I kept a picture of berries. N-acetylcysteine are available in proteins, in chicken, turkey, yogurt, cheese, eggs, legumes, sunflower seeds. I kept a picture of this sunflower seeds. Calcium are high in cheese, yogurt, milk, green leafy vegetables, but not in spinach. Soybeans, tofu nuts, milk, bread, fish bones like sardine and pilchards. Melatonin is available in eggs, fish, berries, walnuts, pineapple, banana, and oranges. I kept a picture of these walnuts. And selenium, and it is highly available in seafood, lean meats, poultry, eggs, legumes, nuts, seeds, soy, pork, beef, turkey, chicken, shellfish, and fortified foods. I kept a picture of soy. And magnesium, finally, they are high in black-eyed peas, tempeh, soy nuts, then cooked beans, tofu, then almonds, cashew, flax seeds, dark chocolate, and fairy fish. And this is tofu. So if you're asking the daily requirement, the normal range of vitamin D in blood is 20 to 40 nanogram per milliliter, and vitamin C is zero point 0.6 to 2 milligram per deciliter, and for zinc it is 80 to 120 microgram per deciliter. And vitamin C and zinc we can normally do in private labs or government labs even. But vitamin D and all is very hard to do. I mean, vitamin C and zinc, we can do it in our labs. But vitamin C, as far as Kerala is concerned, we won't be able to do it in Kerala. We may have to send the blood to Mumbai. So, what are the daily requirements? Vitamin D is required in international units 400 to 800, and if it is in mg, it is 10 to 20. In vitamin C, we need 65 to 90 milligram, and if it is zinc, we need 11 milligram. Though I was talking about the foods which are rich in them, we cannot tell properly like how much amount of food we have to take to get this much amount of milligram. So it is always better to take the immune stabilizers like in one tablet and all we may get zinc along with vitamin C and vitamin D3 with calcium and all we will be getting in normal cheap tablets. So those people, who are not getting the foods and are freely available, which I was mentioning, then you can take this immune stabilizers for this COVID season. And about the sun bath, actually it is needed because what are all the things which we are taking? It is in the inactive form of vitamin D2, that is ergocalciferol. So in order to convert this ergocalciferol into an active form of cholecalciferol, we need sunlight. So for the dark-skinned persons, they are supposed to be, in the sunlight for 45 minutes, either in the early morning or in the evening time. That doesn't mean that you people have to go into the when it is summer you should go to the direct heat and at around 11 or 12 then you may get heat stroke, heat exhaustion, etc. So also if you people are allergic to sun, please don't go. And if you are having a white skin, up to 30 minutes you will be able to get it. And if you are in a place where you will not be able to get the sunlight and all, don't worry, you take the active D3 form which are available as the form of tablets and all, you will be fine. And exercise I already mentioned, but try please avoid mask whenever you are doing any exercise. So what to do if you develop any symptoms? If you develop any symptoms, please wear a mask, isolate ourselves, wash our own clothes, wash our own vessels, seek medical advice immediately. If it is in a national level, you can call the toll-free number 1075. And if you are not getting that, call in that 011239708. And in state level called Disha, that is 1056. And otherwise you can use the next number, that is 0471255220. And if you need to know about the details, what are the services which are available from the Disha means it is a direct intervention system for health awareness. So you will be getting actually the services of a counselor, and if needed a psychologist, and still if you needed even a psychiatrist help also is freely available. So all the services are mentioned in detail in that. Who are at risk? Elderly people. In India, actually, what we meant by elderly is those who are above the age of 60. But internationally, they say it's 65 plus. And children below 10 years, the smokers, which I already mentioned, those with comorbidities, means those who are having existing diseases like cardiovascular diseases, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, chronic lung diseases, cancer, and chronic kidney diseases. So what to do? So we should control our existing disease by proper medication, and we should do regular exercise, meditation. We should quit smoking if you are a smoker, eat nutritious balanced diet, take immune boosters or immune stabilizers, and we should take care of the mental health. It's very, very important. We have seen that many people, many nurses, many healthcare workers have committed suicide in the fear of transmitting it to their patients. So we should limit the negative news, as I already mentioned in my first slide. Spend time with our loved ones, seek information only from the trusted sources, do yoga, listen to music, and use the counseling services which are freely available. Amplify the positive stories, help the elderly, help the vulnerable, means the pregnant woman as well as differently abled people, and show compassion to the sick and their families. And do not spread rumors. You should be very, very careful before spreading the news. You should, you should always listen, take the information from the proper sources only, from the definite sources. Like in Kerala, you can get all the information from the Directorate of Health Services website, dhskerala.gov.in. As far as national level is concerned, you can get the information from memohfw.gov.in. So this will be the proper and correct information. Also, you can go to ICMR website. Then if you want global data, you can check WHO website or Worldometer. And whenever we are talking, we should be inclusive and we should be empathetic. not sympathetic, empathetic, because we have to step on their own shoe, and we have to feel that we ourselves are there in their position, and we have to think. And if you are taking care of ill persons, you should provide them a mask, you should wear a mask, ensure they drink plenty of fluids, ensure they eat nutritious, balanced diet, and keep them mentally positive. Discard the mask if you feel suffocation. Yeah, the two more points which I want to tell you is, like, as far as the masks are concerned, that there are some periods which are mentioned for their use. Like for N95 mask, we can use it for 7 to 8 hours, and you can either use it that continuously, or you can use it intermittently up to that period, and afterwards you have to discard it. And even though there are the masks which are reusable, try not to use it, because the things which they are telling about the disinfection procedure and all, if it fails, definitely we will get infection. So try to use only disposable masks. Second thing about the cloth mask and all, whenever it is getting wet, you should discard it. I don't promote the cloth mask. So whenever you are using this a medical mask or the N95 mask, and you are feeling that you are getting a suffocation, please stop using it. Discard that mask, even though you are paid. Please discard that mask and use a new one. And even if you are using that mask and if it is costly and you started using it and suddenly you feel that you are having a suffocation or it became wet, please stop using it, discard it, take a new one. Take care of those who care for us, like take care to listen to them, take care to protect themselves at workplace. This is especially for the healthcare workers as well as for the police officials. And they and their families are not a danger to those they meet. So there should not be any stigma. You should also feel that they are working for ourselves. So whenever you are getting some time, try to respect and appreciate the healthcare workers as well as the police officials around you in any way you can, because they are putting their lives in line for us. So let us see what Japan has done during this time. This is Keidan Ren. It means a business organization or association board. What they have done is they have introduced various working styles, such as teleworking and working only 3 days through teleworking in a week. And restaurants, normally whenever we used to go, as a number of two, we used to sit opposite to each other. There, what they have done is this opposite side they have removed. They kept all the seats to face the same direction, single seat. Then this pachinko parlors, they are like casinos. They distributed the tickets for parlor entry and keeping every other seat vacant and turning down the music volume. Movie theaters, every front seat as well as the back seat directly behind, they removed it. And in cram schools, online classes were offered and they were taking physical attendance with that. And retailers, they were allotting specific time for the high risk groups like elderly people and expectant mothers and those who are differently abled people. And in airlines, they limit in-flight drinks to juice boxers. And railway operators is they switched off the AC and all, and they opened the windows, they turned on the ventilation systems, and asked the passengers to wear the mask compulsory. In hotels, they limited the face-to-face encounters at the reception. Normally, the Japanese are very, very, very courteous. Like they are very courteous. Like they will come and they will receive you in the hotel and they will take you up to the room. So those customs and all, they stopped then and there only. And sport events, asking participants to wear the mask and conducting daily health checkups 2 weeks prior to each event. So if there is an event which is coming up, even two weeks before that, daily they used to do their health checkup and tests. So what our government can offer us, like work from home and encourage online classes and use of digital transactions. So it is even not safer for us to use the ATM. So try to use the digital transactions so that you can order the food and everything, what are all the essential things you can always order online and ask them to deliver to our house. And flexible office hours. Then we can use the services which I mentioned. We are having National Mental Health Program, and in Kerala and in the states and we are having their smaller portion called district mental health programs. So in which there will be services of psychiatrists, then counselors, psychologists, they will be freely available. Also, Disha is also available. And promotion of private vehicles because of the pollution, air pollution, and all. Before we were promoting public transport, but during this COVID-19 era, we are now promoting private vehicles, and we are trying to practice this physical distance measures in the public transports even. For example, in the flights, trains, buses, taxis, hotels, and in cinema halls. And the most important message is periodic checking of the health workers for COVID-19 is very, very essential. I'm telling it again and again. And whenever a government is telling to, a curfew or a lockdown, we have to obey. In Kerala, what we have seen is in the beginning, people used to listen to whatever the government says. But during this stage, the people are very reluctant to hear what is offered to them and why it is said so. So that obedience is gone now. So we should be very, very, very careful. And mask and gloves can be made mandatory in medical shops while giving medicine strips. And we should ensure the mopping with 1% hypochlorite solution and availability of free hand sanitizers in hotels, cinema halls, offices, shops, and in schools, as I mentioned earlier. Then in Kerala, we can also think of bringing up strategies like reverse quarantine, like isolation, quarantine, or protection of the elderly by taking the sub-center-wise data from NPC-DCS, which is a national program, and NPH-CE and Palliative National Program of the state. NPC-DCS is National Program of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Diseases, and Stroke, and NPH-CE is National Program for the Healthcare of Elderly. Actually, we are very proud to say that Kerala is such a state where we are having proper data of even sub-center wise, so it can be easily implemented in Kerala state and give daily briefing about the current COVID-19 situation, like how our Honorable Chief Minister is doing now, as well as in the center, Love Agarwal IAS is also giving the same. And take extra care while conducting primary and secondary palliative care home visits. So those people, they need training. And going out and coming in, like whenever we are trying to go out of the house, and if you are supposed to have a food outside, try to eat food from inside only, from our house only. And suppose if you have to eat outside, take your own plate, cups, glass, and don't use that of the hotels. People may laugh at you by bringing all this stuff, but it's of no use. Believe me, it's our life, so we should take care of it. And we should wear gloves while we are using a public lavatory. We should carry our own charger and power bank so that we don't need to share with the rest of the people. And always carry a pen with you whenever you are getting a courier or you are going to a bank. You want to put a sign. Don't use the one which is there or the courier fellow is having. And you try to carry notepad, sanitizer, sanitized wipes, face mask, and gloves always. And if you are using shoe or chapel, try to use it differently from for the outside purpose as well as for the inside purpose. Now, if you are buying new shoes or chappals, buy it and keep it outside for 48 hours before using it. And if you are buying new clothes, wash them, please, before you wear it first. Then when you come back, keep your clothes in a detergent solution and wash it. Then another things to remember are whenever we are buying vegetables, try to use the mask and gloves and wash with running water because that is only what is recommended. Medicines can be brought in advance and keep for some days in room temperature. Don't keep it in the sunlight and all because the medicine will get destroyed. So keep it in the room temperature and use gloves if you are, taking out the tablets. After taking the tablets, you can take it in your hand and you can just swallow it. Then use mask and gloves when you take milk, cheese, cool drink, can, and keep in room temperature and use it and discard the plastics or metals. And while ordering cooked food, there is no problem in eating the food because it's properly cooked and hot. But use the gloves when you open the packages and discard the packages. And use gloves when you pick up the newspaper. And download and install Arogya Setu app, which we all know, so that we will be able to know within how many 500 meters, how many positive cases of COVID-19 are there. Within 1 kilometer area, how many cases are there? Within 5 kilometers area, how many cases are there? Within 10 kilometer area, how many cases are there? All you have to do is just download it and keep your Bluetooth on. And the second app, which is very, very important and relevant by the Kerala government, is the Break the Chain app. It is actually a diary. So you please, download that diary and keep it with you. And day-wise, you mention who are the people whom you met, who are the visitors for you, for who, where you went. You can note it down, because if someday, touch wood that it will not happen, but if you become positive, so that we will not be having much problem in contact tracing, so that the rest of the people can be saved and we can prevent further infection. So this is the latest study published by CDC, and two hairstylists with COVID-19 spent at least 15 minutes with 139 clients. So this is exactly opposite to what I told from the evidence which they generated, but this is the newest one which I got to just today. So everyone wore the face coverings, and no clients were are known to be infected. So the take-home message is: wear cloth, face mask covering, not cloth. I am not an advocate of clothes. Sorry. So wear the mask consistently and correctly to slow the spread of COVID-19. So now in this, you can see that if you are not having mask, see how the air droplets are traveling. If one person is, wearing the mask, see it's reduced. And if two masks are there, see the risk is down. And I would like to acknowledge the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the National Center for Disease Control Delhi, and Center for Disease Control India Division Delhi, and Dr. Mobeen Said, www.drbeen.com, and Kerala Health Services, and Center for Evidence-Based Medicine, University of Oxford. Thank you so much for the patient listening. I have seen a question, so can I answer it?
I will read it, and because other people also hear it. Yeah. So it is heard that, how long the pandemic will continue, according to any researchers?
There were many projections by the epidemiologists, but believe me, all the projections went wrong. We used to say that SIR model, SCIR model, and all, but they all failed. And the model which we developed in our place, according to that, we are supposed to get a number, decrease in cases by September. But as this is a new virus, no predictions, we can depend upon. It cannot be told, because we don't know. The virus is mutating and it may change, and the people are also changing. So we can't say like within how many time it will go off. And definitely it is going to be with us, just like H1N1. Like how when H1N1 came, we asked the same question. So when it came, that was very new. A lot of people died, and then the next year also H1N1 was there. Then that case fatality rate decreased, but in the next year also it was there, and H1N1 is still with us. But now we don't mind it, because there are many diseases which are coming out. So like that, Corona may also will be with us for at least 2 to 3 years. Then it will not be new for people like us.
So next question by Mohan Nair. It is heard that UVB is the one making vitamin D through the skin, but UVB is available during midday only. Could you please clarify?
Yeah, absolutely true. For that only we were asking to go to the sunlight for the conversion of this vitamin D2 to vitamin D3. But it is always better to take the tablets if you have no problem, because it is difficult to go outside and get the sunlight in all the countries. Many countries it will be winter for a long time. Also, there are people who are very allergic to the sunlight. So it is advisable to take this in the tablet form.
Third question by Venkatesan. What is the status of the vaccine for COVID-19?
There are many vaccines which are in trial, like ICMR. As we saw that there was a problematic statement which was made, but definitely we can expect it within 1 year. Definitely it will be there, and one mRNA vaccine is also in trial by Oxford, so that may also come very soon.
Another question from Evangeline. You mentioned in the Japanese model that music volumes are turned down, and even in my country, Singapore, he's from Singapore, it is recommended that in public places, TV should be kept switched off as well as no music. What's the significance of this practice for COVID-19?
Actually, I also don't know. Sorry.
Francis Joseph, how we know that the food supplied by hotels are safe without further heating?
No, actually, when we are preparing the food and all, that 56 degrees Celsius is quite enough for that virus to get destroyed. That shape will be distorted. So 56 degrees Celsius anyway we will be getting, when we are preparing the food.
Professor Sunita, is it true that consuming garlic, ginger, hot water, etc., can improve the immunity?
Actually, I was there as a central team lead in Agra, UP. So when I was there, my wife also asked me to take honey, and in that honey to put one pinch of pepper and one pinch of turmeric. And now you are asking about this thing. So these things are all like as per their beliefs. It is not evidence based. So if something is coming up evidence based, then only we can tell that yeah, this can be tried. Now the ginger one, I think that one Ayurveda of one Ayurveda medical college, they are trying their best to produce one medicine through that, and clinical trials are going on with ICMR's consent.
Two questions from R. Kavida. What is the end for this pandemic? Is it endemic, that is infecting all and disappeared?
We can't say that it is now it is a pandemic, means it is there in almost all the continents, and after some time this will become an endemic. So places like here and there, means it will be there for quite some time.
Second question by her is, cured person can be affected again? Cured
Yes,
person.
yes. Actually, the current research says that cured persons can also be get infected. So that is raising a major issue, because we were always believing that herd immunity will be there. So if it is there, then only 60% of the people, if they become infected and recovered, then the rest of the people will also get protected. That is the idea of herd immunity. So here what is happening is there are many situations in which the people who got infection, they got reinfection again. So what does it mean is, like, it is the antibody is giving the protection only for some few months. But there is a point, means now wherever whatever the countries which they are coming, they are there in Sweden, in Spain, and all these cases are coming. But what is seen is the ICU cases, the critical cases, the severity of the cases are decreasing, which is a very good sign. And the thing is, the major cause of the mortality is, that is because of major cause of mortality is because of the cytokine storm. That is what we say in medical terms. So because the protein part, that the covering part of that virus, that is very new to the human body. That is what is causing again and again this cytokine storm. So what will happen is, we are having this T memory cells. So what they will do is, they will remember this, and whenever the reinfection is coming, they will try to fight it, which is a good thing.
So most of people have appreciated your presentation. There is one more question. When is good time to take quercetin?
Quercetin is also now seen to be very, very good, and it is always advisable to take quercetin along with zinc. So clinical trials are going on.
So question by Christina. Is this to be taken with zinc and vitamin C? Quercetin to be taken with zinc and vitamin C?
Yes. It has to be taken with zinc. Then only we will get the added effect.
Dr. N. Panikar. Mortality rate less than 3%, less than many other diseases. Please comment.
The thing is, like, mortality rate is, of course, in India, it is 2.72. But believe me, there are many states like in Delhi, or if you are taking the Tamil Nadu, and if you are taking, Maharashtra, in Mumbai and all, it is around 5.5%, which is equivalent to the European countries. So it is different in different places.
Another question from Sunita Baby again. A lot of messages are spreading about homeo medicine, arsenicum albumin, which cures COVID. Is it true?
Actually, I am a person who is not telling any bad about the rest of the systems. But the thing is, like, there was a publication by the Lancet which caused roars in international scenario. So Australia is trying to ban that homeopathy. UK has already done it. So evidence, it is not evidence based. So the people are telling that there are problems. As far as they cannot produce any evidence based thing, we cannot comment over it.
Question from Ajit Patel. Ajit Patel, even chance of reinfection, then how useful plasma transplant?
The thing is, when we are giving plasma, and we don't know at what time this, at what stage are we giving this. And if we are giving that, and if our body is not responding, then there is no much use of it. So that is a thing. So we can tell all these things only after getting, large trials or a large study.
Question from Shalini. Can cortisone can be taken by everyone, including people who are on other medications?
Till now, what they have said is that it is better to have it as a prophylactically they are recommending it. But in our country, so far there are no guidelines which came, so I cannot comment over it now. Internationally, they are doing that.
Christine has another question. Should melatonin be taken with dinner or just before sleep? Because in some countries, people eat dinner at 6 p.m. but sleep at 10 p.m.
The thing is, it is better to take those food items which I mentioned, so that you can take it at either for breakfast or for lunch or for dinner.
So these are the questions. And Professor Chandramohan has commented on your presentation. Thank you, Dr. Binay, for very useful talk. The need of the day. Your presentation was superb. Okay, I request Suhair. There is one more question by Dr. N.N. Panikkar. Nutrition, vaccine utility. Please comment.
Yeah, we always worry about the vaccine production. What it worries is like if the virus, the virus is very new to our human body. So the virus loves to be there in our human body. So the virus tries to change, that is mutate, because they love us. They want to be in our body. So even if there are several mutations which are happening, the positive point is the structure, like the spike. Through the spike only it comes and into contact with the ACE2 receptors. So the spike part is not changing. So there is hope for the vaccination.
So the last part of my request for the many people has asked for recording. We record the session and send to those people who have the with whose email ID we have. But for that, please give your feedback form and indicate that you want the recorded versions. Thank you very much. And I request Suhair, Suhair, Abdul Khader Suhair of VMFT, chairman of the VMFT, to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening, friends. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. How to coexist with the COVID-19, whether we like it or not, was the topic of our discussion today. And it is the most appropriate topic to discuss also today. We are all under the grip of coronavirus or COVID-19. Many things about corona still remains mysterious. We still do not know, or is still disputed, how it is infected, through the air or by other means. So people still have lots of doubts about, even scientific organizations are disputing many things on corona. So it's really but it has paralyzed our life, and we have no clue when we are going to come out of it. Today, we are extremely fortunate to have an epidemiologist, Dr. Binoy Babu, to talk to us about it. I do not know how many of us have heard of this terminology, epidemiologist. Epidemic, pandemic, endemic, these are all the words that we hear on a day-to-day basis. Epidemic is an outbreak of diseases, and pandemic is a widespread epidemic, and endemic, as was mentioned here before, restricted to areas, some regions and all that. So it's really, Dr. Bijoy has really unleashed an encyclopedia of information before us. Each of the topic need to be discussed in detail. It's a very vast ocean of knowledge that he has exposed before us. Thank you, Dr. Binoy, for what he emphasized to us, the health education that needs to be really paid a lot of attention. And rightly he said that as Keralites or Malayalis have the feeling that we know everything. So that attitude is first of all wrong or to be corrected. It's really amazing some of the information he told about the masks, the efficiency level of a cloth mask from 3% to high standard masks of 95%. So what a spectrum, level of variation in the efficiency level. So all these things have to be properly understood for better protection for us to take care of our health and also the health of the community. So it has been a great session, educating us or making us aware that we need to educate ourselves a lot more to combat this disease in the days to come. That's more important. I think he dealt about a lot of areas that needs to be explored further. That's only an outline, and I'm sure he will come back another time to clarify most of our doubts about this situation. And we all know that 7 organizations are lined up organizing this webinar series in these days of lockdown. Institution of Engineers, IEEE, Internet Society, IEEE EMBS, Computer Society of India, Project Management Institute, and Wakamoli Foundation. All these leaders of institutions deserve compliments for bringing up issues that is to be very seriously thought about, discussed in these days. And I congratulate Harindralal, AG Harindralal, efficiently coordinating all these organizations and rallying up eminent speakers to educate us on these lines. And this have caught a lot of attention. Almost all lectures have 250 to 300 registrations and 100 plus attendance. That's really a great achievement, showing that these programs have caught the attention, caught the appreciation of many learners who can change the society by bringing new knowledge. The talks that are going to come in the near future are also quite educative. In this session, we have been able to rally up people of different professions, technologists, economists, educationalists, environmentalists, and so on, who could explain the impact or implications on different aspects, fields of life. So upcoming talks, Dr. Bhaskar Rao will be talking about brain health. Dr. Arun B. Nair will be talking about mental health or health and brain and behavior. And so many interesting topics are going to come up. And I request that this program have to be supported and spread to more people in the days to come, so that people are aware of the issues in social life and solutions. Thanking you, Dr. Binoy, for the wonderful presentation and all the attendees, participants of this event for making this grand success. Thank you very much.
Next week's talks is by Professor Saifur Rahman, Director of Virginia Tech Advanced Research Institute. He was the president of IEEE Power Energy Society during 2018 and 19 on global electric power sector, engaging with environmental issues. I request everybody to participate in this. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a great time.
Thank you.